It's not. We've had a little bit of a mix-up, okay? It's not necessarily the friendliest segment in all of sports, but it's also not the Hells Angels clubhouse, okay? It's a pretty nice segment, but you never know. Don't get on this segment's bad side. You hear me? I killed a man. Again, I didn't want to, but I had to. Don't put me in a... See what I will do. Top 28 players, right?
I really...
Oh, battling it out.
I really...
But it's friendly. We're trying to find the happy medium, okay? In a moody segment we call King of the Hill.
This is all Nick's fault.
You know what I've learned, just quickly before I get to it? Wildes, of all the characters Wildes plays, he likes
Don't even think about it.
The bad
he does a voice. It's the only character that has its own voice. I think it's like a life you wonder if you had lived. Instead of being a national treasure.
Watch.
Get the skulls
First of all, watch your mouth.
See, exactly.
Watch your tone.
See. All right.
They always do this.
Yeah.
They're always ready.
We understand. All right. If people weren't around last week we did an All-NBA edition. This week we're back to no game minimums. And because of that, we're not going to have the red and the green. If people moved up or down, it's kind of too confusing based on last week. Like Luka wasn't eligible and AD wasn't eligible. So this is the updated mountain. We did have a few guys fall off the mountain or the hill from the last time we had it. And listen, Darius Garland, De'Aaron Fox, Damian Lillard, they slid off the hill. Garland's team, for the first time all year, faced some adversity. Fox obviously banged up. And I just can't believe in the Bucks at all. And it's not, by no means is it all Dame's fault, but Dame lost his spot on the hill.
Yeah.
7th row. Kawhi Leonard.
Wow.
Welcome to the hill. He's been playing well, man, this month. Now, you worry about his ability to stay healthy, but he's been playing well this month. Jamal Murray, Alperen Sengun, Devin Booker, Evan Mobley, Trae Young. Welcome to the hill.
Wow.
And then listen, the hill is not left to right. But everyone knows that the spot on the far right on the bottom row is kind of a grab bag spot to a degree, where we try to give an attaboy to someone who's having an unbelievable stretch. It doesn't necessarily mean that one of the 28 best players in the league, but Kobe White.
It does.
Anybody seen what he did this week?
Yeah.
33, 3, and 4. For a Bulls team that's won 8 out of 10,
come on,
all of a sudden dangerous. So anybody that would argue that Kobe White shouldn't even be on the hill, I don't know what would be wrong with it. They'd have to just be a really mean guy. 6th row. Welcome back, Anthony Davis. This row, however, everything has in common. This is the injury concern row at the moment. So AD, Jalen Brunson, Jaylen Brown, Triple J, Jalen Williams, and John Morant. My goodness, aside from Anthony Davis, they're all J names, I just realized. But regardless, they're all also either currently dealing with injuries or have been dealing with injuries. They're all excellent players, but the injury concern is why we can't put them currently in the top 15, even if guys, the first 3 guys on that row at various points this season and last season look like consensus top 15 players. Because of the injuries, that's where they are. 5th row. Big Cat, Karl Anthony Towns. While the Knicks have struggled a bit, he's still playing very well. Durant's playing some of the best basketball of his season. Since the last hill, 35, 6, and 7 averages for Durant as he tries to fight his way into another All-NBA team when it looked like maybe a couple weeks ago he was going to be an odd man out for All-NBA. Tyrese Halliburton playing well, 20 and 12 over the last week as the Pacers are playing better. James Harden been pretty steady. And Jimmy Butler, listen, the numbers for Jimmy Butler are not overwhelming, but they never are. But still this week, 21, 8, and 10 are his averages. And the Warriors have been so good. I know they just lost, but they had won 8 of 9 prior to that loss. He has been so important for them, made them feel like they are fringe contenders, which they, in my opinion, were not even close to before they get him. He gets his spot where he is. Now to the top 10. LeBron is dropped from where he was in row 3 because of the injury. That seems fair. He has to, kind of earn that spot back. Steph has not dropped yet because of his injury. Only, barely missed any time, and he could be playing as early as tonight. We'll see, but he should be back. Cade has just been excellent. Yep. His team's been excellent. For the year, Cade is 26-6-9. Since the last Hill, he's 30-10-9. He's been great. He didn't miss a game, but he's been excellent. And Donovan has to slide. The team has slid. Yep. He is back healthy, but in the last week, he's 17-4-5. The team suffered its first 3-game losing streak of the year, and then that became a 4-game losing streak. The idea behind Donovan being a lock first-team All-NBA guy, Brew, was, well, his numbers aren't great, but the team's going to win 68 games. If the numbers aren't great and the team wins 63 games, that could open a spot for someone to steal it. And I think the person that might steal it is on this next row, and that would be Anthony Edwards. Anthony Edwards for the season is 27-6-5. Now this week he's cooled down a bit, but for the year he's been outstanding, and he's played 70 games, which is the most of anyone on the Hill. He's always available, and that has to count for something. Yep. Luka, the team is struggling. He's not. Brew called him a ball hog it was the most conventional wisdom that's ever been delivered in such a compelling way that I maybe stand at attention. But everything he was saying, I was like, didn't everybody always think this? But Brew was just like making an announcement. And then Giannis, who is just another year of 30, 11, and 6, another year of elite efficiency, and another year where it feels like, man, probably not going to compete for a championship. Kind of a bummer. I don't really put it on him because he's been so great, but it feels like since winning the title, the Bucks got a little unlucky with injury and then maybe made the wrong decision with the Dame trade, and now, you know, some things have happened where they're not real contenders. Change at the top. Second row, Jokic moves down. So Jokic is the best player in the league. Everybody understands that. But not only is he not having the best season, one of his strongholds of best player in the league and must be top of the hill is he always plays. Now, I don't blame him. Like, listen, he hurt his ankle. He's out, or they're being cautious / resting him, which would make sense. But because of that, and Tatum's been great, obviously. They're 3-0 this since the last Mountain. He's 27-7-7. I'm not trying to skip him. But the news is Shea, for the first time this year with the full hill, is at the top. His team, while the whole rest of the Western Conference lost their last game or is on a bit of a losing streak, the Thunder have won 6 in a row. They've won 9 out of 10 because they win 9 out of 10 basically every 10. They win 83% of their games. This week he's giving you 28, 5, and 9, meaning his averages are down across the board except for an assist because that's how good he's been. But his team's great. He's been great. Brew, that is the latest edition of King of the Hill.
Good mountain. Good mountain. I really like the top. It's interesting. If you can put the mountain back up there. The first 3 rows, am I wrong to say I feel like everybody in those first 3 rows, the top 6, gets like more buzz, attention than Jason Tatum? Am I wrong? And I'm not saying it should be that case. That should be the case.
I mean, I don't know that he gets more buzz than, or that Ant gets more buzz than him this year. But his.
Well, I think Ant's profile, people, are more into Ant. But it's just interesting to me. That's something that I wanted to bring up. But I'm going to the bottom, and shout out Kobe White.
Wow.
What a week, as Nick said. What a run. I mean, Kobe White can ball. I had Kobe.
Taking him off?
Well, because it's just the power of the Butlers. The Butlers strikes again.
Drew loves
ever since I challenged Paolo Banchero to motivate him to start leading the Magic to some victories, he's taken off.
That's true.
In March, check numbers are in March, Nick. Not just a few games. March, 30 points, 7.7 rebounds, and over 4 assists a game on basically 50, 40, 80 splits. He's just a tick under 50% field goal, but 41 from 3, 84 from the line, and he gets to the line 9 times a game. So when you have a guy, and he's shooting a good number of threes, it's not like he's shooting 2 a game, 6 a game. So you got a guy shooting 40% from 3, kills you from there, but then also attacks the rim and gets to the line 9 times a game. That, my friends, is effective. All right, and so I got to move him. They've won now 5 out of their last 8, including victories over, we know the Lakers, but Cleveland and Milwaukee. Paolo Banchero, you tried to, Nick and I caught that yesterday. He took a little jab, you know.
I'm not a Magic guy anymore.
Yeah, and he's not living up to. Paolo
They have the
is
worst
nice
offense in the league.
They're not. He's been injured a lot, and it's taken him time to get acclimated to his teammates. I saw they were losing a lot with him, but now he's back, and I gotta put. I hate if I have to replace somebody. I'd be fine just putting him up there, but I gotta move Kobe down because look at this, Nick. These are their numbers. It's not. Kobe's very good.
He's a number 1 pick.
He's averaging 5 more points, doubling him up in rebounds, and averaging more assists. Kobe's a guard.
Yeah,
point guard.
Listen.
And he's shooting better from the floor. I mean, what are we talking about?
Everyone knows that the last spot on the mountain, again, it's not left or right.
I obviously did not know that.
Off, I guess.
But it was
Who's better, Paolo or Kobe White?
Paolo.
Okay. Then why is he on the mountain?
Because that's
maybe it should be like a special spot, like over by the sign.
No, I don't get it. So why don't we put that spot in a different color?
Yeah.
It's just like whoever I feel like blessing today with some good news. Is that what it is?
Kobe
just throwing anybody up there?
Yeah, no, because remember last week he didn't want to be friendly. This one, it's like, oh no, he's not that good, but he's being a nice guy.
Right, this is friendly. Paolo should be on there.
Okay,
if you're the bad boy of sports,
I'm not the bad boy of sports. I would give honestly, Paolo. If you're going to make an argument to take someone off, take off Kawhi. If you're Kobe's, it's like good for you, kid.
Kawhi's playing great.
Kawhi is playing great, but Kawhi on the season has worse numbers than Kobe White. Kawhi on the season's also only played 28 games. I put Kawhi on there because I'm like, you know what? He's playing his best basketball right now, and they're going to be in the playoffs, and maybe, just maybe, if he's healthy, you could see. I mean, this week he's 27-9-4.
All I know is Paolo should be on there. I don't.
You know what? I agree with you.
Who you want to take off? Kawhi, I guess.
You just take off Shingun.
Shingun?
No,
I'm not taking off Shingun.
I'm just messing with Wild. Take off Kawhi, but that's fine. Go ahead, KW.
You know, everyone's in love with playoff Jimmy. Oh, we're going to get playoff Jimmy? Because regular season Jimmy was just kind of middling.
Yeah.
But since the trade to the Warriors, regular season Jimmy, pretty good. The team wins. Because of the Heat regular season, like, we'll be a low seed and then we'll pop up. No, regular season Jimmy with the Warriors, 16-3. This is when he plays. But the numbers don't jump off the page.
Not bad, though.
So, no, not bad, but just solid. The wins are what it's about. Yep. And in the Athletic article, he's like, all I'm doing is winning. All I care about. It was a great article. So how are they winning? Well, with Jimmy on the court, all of a sudden Steph becomes better. Look at Steph's numbers with and without Jimmy. The wins, obviously, but he's getting 5 more points a game. He's shooting better. His three-point percentage even better. Then on the defense end, Draymond has been very vocal about this, saying, hey, it's nice to have Jimmy Butler there because I can gamble a little bit more. I can go up the court a little bit more. I know I have Jimmy back there. Since Jimmy is on the Warriors, all of a sudden it's not the Thunder and the Rockets with the best defense. It's actually the Warriors. Added bonus, all of a sudden, Wemby's out. Is Draymond going to be Defensive Player of the Year?
He's probably talked himself into the award, yeah.
And with I don't know if Jimmy's going to get any credit for that, but now Draymond can maybe get some of those steals and gamble a little bit more, help that case. So regular season Jimmy, up the hill.
So where do you want?
Yeah, that's the thing. You can't just say
do this part.
Give a vague answer.
No, where do you want him?
Well, one team is 16-3. What's the Lakers' record since the Celtics game? 4 and 4 and 6.
I think 3 and 7.
3 and 7, even worse. And LeBron hasn't won a game since he's come back. So they weren't good when he was there. He lost the game against the Celtics.
But what about how he's been the whole year?
Well, what is King of the Hill? What are we doing?
It's a rich tapestry.
Well, we do it every week.
I understand, and LeBron moved down. Do you think Jimmy Butler?
That's not how it goes.
No, you don't even know that's not how it goes because I didn't even ask the question. It's not. And by the way, this week, let me just check.
I think you've talked yourself into a pickle, Nick. Because you're going to say, do you think Jimmy Butler is better than LeBron?
No, that's not what I was going to say.
Oh,
do you think Jimmy Butler because he was talking about the impact on his teammates and the impact on winning.
Yeah.
Do you think Jimmy Butler has had a bigger impact on winning this year than LeBron James?
Not this year, but since the last time we did the Hill,
Well, LeBron
James hasn't been on. They
last time we
lost
did
the
the Hill,
Celtics
Jim,
game,
that's
and
fine.
then they played poorly when he was gone, and he's back for the last
but
two
if
games, and they lost those games. So if it's not winning and losing, I don't know what we're doing.
If it's based purely on since the last time we did the Hill, Durant should be at the top.
Well,
Durant should be five.
it's a mix-up.
By the way, since the last time we did the Hill, the Warriors are 2-1. They played 3 games. They're not running away with it. Like it does. So it is more than just the last week. And so again, Drew's right. You advocate for these guys to move up. Then you're like, I don't want to move someone down. But if you're going to force me to, and then he picks LeBron every time. Every time, Brew, we ask him who's he going to do. He does either Luke or LeBron.
Because they're not winning games.
They have won way more than the Warriors.
You brought him
They
out.
won way more than
Since Jimmy Butler's been on the team?
What?
Since Jimmy Butler's been on the team? So it's a new team. When Jimmy Butler's on the Warriors, they're a new team. They have the best defense in the entire West since Jimmy Butler. And the Lakers defense, which was number 1, and I had to listen to all this nonsense about how the Lakers defense number 1, all of a sudden they're back to being 24th. So get LeBron down, bad boy at TV.
Wow.
I don't even want to do this. I want to be the host and be like, oh, smile and stuff. You guys paint me in the corner.
We don't paint you in a corner. It's the conceit
Move him down.
of the segment.
Move him down. Steph is better. Draymond's going to win Defensive Player of the Year. They got the best defense, and they're 16-3. He's going to Miami. He's going to light up his old team.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get more from the show and to check out clips from other shows on FS1.